All right, what's going on, you guys? Nick here with Nick Strength and Power, and I've got a couple of interesting stories for you guys today. We're going to talk about a lot of different things. Greene calling me out, new Olympia dates, new qualification dates, new qualification rules, a new video that was posted on the official Strongman YouTube channel about the 2017 World's Strongest Man controversy, where Hafthor Bjornsson called out Eddie Hall for cheating to win that title. But before we get to those stories, I wanted to start out with a positive story here because I'm happy to report that, as you guys know, John Meadows did, in fact, have a heart attack scare last week. But it has been reported now that he is actually okay, and he is recovering, and he is actually home from the hospital now, so that is good news, and I'm very happy to report that. I know a lot of people were worried about John, and John's very popular in the bodybuilding and fitness industry, and a lot of people wanted to see him get well, and we're hoping that this was going to be a positive outcome here. So I'm very happy to report that John is recovering, and he is back home now, and he put up this post on Instagram: "Top secret scene getting my adamantium treatment," which is a Wolverine reference. Seriously, though, I can't thank the staff enough at Mount Carmel Health. I had a crew of ICU nurses that took amazing care of me. I don't think that we appreciate what nurses really do enough and the lives that they impact. All the nurses there, thank you. You are the best. So again, very happy to see that John Meadows he's okay. He's recovering. He's back home. The post on his Facebook page said, "Update on John. He is coming home today." They did a lot of testing this morning and found that his heart size is completely normal. There is also no calcification buildup in the arteries, but there is some weakness due to the clots that were there. The weakness is about 10% of decreased heart function and could return to normal if things go right. They could not find the source of the clots, but he is on blood thinners to manage that. He has bounced back very strongly from this. Thank you for all the support and encouragement, Mary." That was written by his wife. So best wishes to John and his family, and glad to hear that he is doing okay for sure. Now, next up in the news, let's look at the video that everybody is talking about right now, published just one day ago, and is creeping up on almost 1 million total views right now. At the time that I'm recording this video, it's at over 800,000 views. It was uploaded to the official Strongman YouTube channel with just over 441,000 subscribers, and it's basically a mini documentary on the cheating scandal of the 2017 World's Strongest Man. If you guys have been following the Hafthor, Bjornsson, and Eddie Hall drama and beef that's been going on lately, one of the accusations that was thrown from Hafthor towards Eddie, who won. Eddie won the 2017 World's Strongest Man. Hafthor has complained ever since that 2017 World's Strongest Man, saying that Eddie won unfairly and that he cheated to win, and accused Eddie and Colin Bryce, one of the judges / promoters, of rigging that in favor of Eddie Hall. So that was a big controversy, and that was a big sticking point of the beef, and part of the reason for the boxing match between Eddie Hall and Hafthor Bjornsson. So this video surfaced, which was done by a producer, a former producer of the World's Strongest Man, named Andrew B. Quinn. Now, apparently this video seems to be kind of in favor of Eddie Hall's stance, because Eddie Hall reposted it on his own YouTube channel, so it kind of seems to be in favor of Eddie Hall winning fairly. So essentially what this video goes over is the Viking press. So the Viking press was the big sticking point of the 2017 World's Strongest Man controversy that Hafthor was mostly complaining about. He got deducted, I believe it was about 3 reps from the reps that he performed on the Viking press due to violating a rule known as double dipping. Kind of a, you could call it cheating, kind of a cheat rep. Double dipping is what they're calling this particular movement on the Viking press. Now, the Viking press situation here is explained in detail, and it goes to show in these clips that were recorded at the World's Strongest Man, kind of this athlete briefing before the Viking press, where they explain to all the athletes and specifically say to Hafthor, make sure he's aware that double dipping will not be allowed, and they kind of say that they know that Hafthor has a tendency to do that, and they wanted to point out before the event that they're going to be looking very strictly at that. So it shows the behind the scenes of them effectively warning Hafthor not to do it, and then it goes on to show the video of Hafthor doing it. Now, the actual double dipping itself is something you got to pay attention to when you're watching the video of them performing the Viking press, particularly in the legs. It appears to be kind of a momentum advantage in the Viking press, and you can see they put up a side-by-side comparison of Eddie Hall and Hafthor Bjornsson both performing the press, and I think it was like towards the end of Hafthor's reps where he was actually doing this double dipping movement. But essentially, this video is a behind-the-scenes look at that whole scandal, and it shows, like I said, the athletes meeting beforehand where they're warning Hafthor. It shows the performance of Hafthor, and it highlights where Hafthor was accused of doing these double-dipping reps. And then it also shows after, where Hafthor is complaining about the fact that he was deducted those 3 reps from his Viking press performance. And because Eddie Hall reposted this on his own YouTube channel, I'm assuming that the general consensus is this does show that Hafthor violated these rules and that the judgment was fair in this situation. It also shows the opinion of other strongmen that competed in 2017, saying it was pretty clear what Hafthor did, and they didn't understand why he was contesting that decision. But honestly, from the layman's perspective to the untrained eye, for me, it was kind of hard to see exactly where this double dipping was occurring. You could see a minor difference between what Hafthor was doing and what the other guys were doing. But overall, I could definitely see where this was a very subjective situation and kind of a tough call to make. But I want to know what you guys think in the comment section below. Do you guys see any examples of this double dipping? Is it clear to you? Is it not clear to you? Do you guys not understand what's going on? To me, at first, I had to watch it a couple times to really realize what they were talking about, and it's kind of even hard to explain, but you can kind of see it in these videos that you're seeing right now. But to me, it seemed like the intent of this video was to debunk the cheating scandal of the 2017 World's Strongest Man. So if you want to check that out, go check it out. It's on the official Strongman YouTube channel. Very good watch, about a 20-minute video, and I watched it probably 4 or 5 times. Now, the final story that I wanted to get to today is Kai Greene calling me out. Now, the reason why I wanted to cover this, I know I said I wasn't going to talk about speculation about Kai Greene anymore, so I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to speculate as to whether or not Kai is going to compete at the Olympia. But I wasn't really expecting to see this post on my feed. When I logged into Instagram a couple days ago, sure enough, there's a post on Kai Greene's Instagram, who has about 6 million followers, tagging me in that post of Kai dressed as Santa Claus. So Kai Greene's caption on that post tags me and says, "At Nick Strength and Power, out here calling me a troll. Shake my head, you better be nice or else Santa Kai won't come in December." That post receiving almost 40,000 likes within the first 24 hours. And I thought it was interesting. I mean, immediately upon viewing it, I wasn't expecting to see it. But the whole Kai Greene situation has always been fascinating to me, and I know a lot of you guys hate to see it. I've seen it in the comment sections. A lot of you guys are very unhappy with the way that Kai Greene has been going about, I guess you could almost say at this point, teasing the fans rather than trolling the fans. And before I expand on Kai Greene calling me out, I wanted to show you guys this clip, or this quote rather, from an interview done with Dan Solomon, who's basically the head guy at the Olympia. He's the promoter, and he's basically the go-to guy for all questions related to the Olympia. RX Muscle recently did an interview with him, and I saw this transcription of that interview on fitnessvault.com where they quoted a segment where Dan was asked a question about whether or not Kai would compete. And Dan really had a very interesting sentiment here, and this is what I wanted to get to, because a lot of people, I'm sure Kai doesn't like what I say about him. I'm sure he doesn't like reading what some of you guys say about him coming back, because he's teased it for so many years. He hasn't competed at the Olympia since, like 2014, so it's kind of unlikely that he would, but he's teased it pretty much every single year since then, and a lot of fans got tired of that, and a lot of fans have echoed that. Well, this is what the Olympia promoters have to say about Kai doing that, and I think this is very important to read. So it says, when it comes to what Kai is going to do tomorrow, next week, and of course we're talking about 7 months from now, your guess is as good as mine. And this is in response to the question, will Kai compete at the Olympia? However, with that said, I take exception to some of this stuff with regards to Kai. By the way, I qualify this by saying I love Kai as a human being. I respect him as a bodybuilder. He's exceptional for our sport, and people respond to Kai in big ways. So Kai has my utmost respect. With that said, I gotta be honest. I always think about the fans with everything that we do, and that's always how I've operated. And I take exception to any athlete who dangles the carrot that they are going to compete just for their own entertainment. So I wanted to highlight that point right there because I think that's important. I think there's a really good analogy of dangling the carrot because this is from the perspective of the people that run the Olympia. So there's no behind the scenes, at least from this perspective, there's no behind-the-scenes knowledge of Kai competing. There's no behind-the-scenes conversations between Kai and the promoters, because it seems like the promoters are also viewing this as Kai teasing the fans. So there's nothing that we don't know that Kai does know between him and the promoters. I think that's an important point, that the Olympia people also view this as Kai teasing us. So he goes on to say, I've got to be honest with you. I think it's very disrespectful to the fans. I think it shows very little appreciation for the decisions that the fans have made when they're deciding how they're going to spend their money. Now he goes on to say, I don't appreciate when an athlete plays games with the emotions of the fans. This has been going on for a long time. It's been going on for years, and we continue to have to answer questions about whether Kai is or isn't. Just be real with the fans. If you're going to do it, then do it. It doesn't always have to be a chess game. It doesn't always have to be read between the lines mindset. You're either in or you're not. I certainly would love to see Kai Greene in the Olympia. It would be tremendous. It would be exciting. Now, he's not qualified for the Olympia, so there's things that would have to happen to get him there. But I'm as big a Kai Greene fan as anybody. So this, to me, was extremely fascinating to hear the promoter of the Olympia give this perspective. And I thought that that was an important thing to include in this video, because I want to get back to Kai Greene essentially calling me out in this Instagram post here. Number one, I want to say I like what Kai Greene is doing here. I mean, it's good. You know, Kai Greene knows what he's doing. He knows how to play the social media game. He's got more followers than I think any other bodybuilder. At almost 6 million followers, that's more than any Mr. Olympia has right now. And it's because he knows how to play the game. And I like the fact that, you know, Kai probably doesn't like a lot of what I say about him or about whatever. But instead of getting mad about it and complaining about it or asking me to take a video down or, you know, just saying nasty stuff behind the scenes, I actually kind of like that Kai twisted it on me. I like that Kai said, okay, this guy's going to talk about me on his YouTube channel. I'll post him up to my followers. I kind of like that. I like that dynamic, that Kai was engaging enough to do that. I think that just goes to show why Kai is so good at what he does. But that being said, I got to agree with Dan Solomon here. Kai Greene has teased this for years. And when I called Kai a troll, I called him that in the title of that video, because that recent posing video that Kai had posted, a lot of people were saying that was actually an old video, because in that video Kai had a gap in his teeth and now Kai doesn't have that gap. So they were saying he posted this old posing video to kind of drum up more speculation that he was competing. So in the title, I questioned, is Kai Greene trolling everybody again? Because to be completely honest here, to quantify everything that Kai has done up until this year, all the past Olympias, think about all the other times Kai has hinted at competing or teased that he's going to compete, I would call that trolling, because all those years Kai didn't compete. But he posted these little posts and memes and little hints like he was going to. That to me is trolling. Now, beneath the post that he tagged me in, he said, Nick Strength and Power out here calling me a troll. Shake my head, you better be nice, or else Santa Kai won't come in December. Obviously, December is the new month of the Olympia. And he commented his own post right below that and said, there's a show in December. I hope they still believe if they want Santa to bring the gift. Clearly hinting at a renewed rivalry with Phil Heath at the 2020 Mr. Olympia. Now, to me, if the Olympia promoter is saying essentially they have no word whether or not Kai will compete and they're not really talking to Kai about it and they don't like what Kai has been doing, to me, this is another troll post. And just like Dan said, I want to qualify that statement by saying I'm a huge fan of Kai Greene. I wouldn't be talking about him if I wasn't. I think Kai Greene's physique has that wow factor, and that's why so many fans were drawn to Kai in the first place. He was freaky. He was something you didn't typically see. And I got to agree with Dan. I do think it's a little bit disingenuous to the fans what Kai is doing, because if Kai doesn't compete this year, and he does the same thing next year, he hints that he's going to compete, maybe in Kai's mind he thinks he's getting everybody. He's fooling everybody. He's getting people to talk about him. He's getting me and other bloggers like me, I guess you could call it, to make videos about it. And maybe he thinks in his mind that is, you know, he's winning. He's fooling us. I don't know. But the reality is we talk about it when Kai hints that he's going to compete because we want to see Kai compete. It's not a matter of baiting us into talking about it or baiting us into making a video. We talk about it because we want to see it, not because we were tricked into talking about it. It's because everyone wants to see Kai come back. So for him to keep teasing it and then not doing it, to me, it does seem a little bit like trolling. So I will leave that question to you guys. Do you think this will be the year that Kai Greene comes back and competes, do you think there will be a miracle on 34th Street, or do you think this will be the year without a Santa Claus? Let me know in the comment section below. Please give this video a thumbs up if you did in fact enjoy it. And as always, subscribe to this channel if you have not subscribed already. And as always, Nick Strength and Power, signing out.